It's enough, I think. It's enough, I think.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Green live stream. We are here in Chicago at the Sulzer Library having our spring convention. We're having quite an interesting conversation. We're electing officers and following process, and it's pretty interesting. What do you think about it, Scott?
Yeah, very interesting. I actually may have to leave because I'm one of the people that's being nominated. So we'll see. I'll try to keep, obviously talking here and then just kind of checking in to see where they are in the process. But yeah, long process. I think we'll be here a long time. But yeah, so we are here at the Sulzer Library in Chicago for the spring convention. And we haven't even elected our first officers yet, so it's a long process. But thanks everybody for coming in and checking us out here at Green Live Stream. So yeah, it's a different format. Usually we do news of the week, but since the convention was happening, we were going to be here, we wanted to make sure to cover it.
So this is my first convention, and it's kind of interesting. I mean, like debating whether people are qualified. We have certain rules that have been established. 6 months to be a member, then 6 months on after you're a member for 6 months, you can join our coordinating committee, and then after 6 months there, you can run to be executive. So I'm not eligible. I haven't been with the Green Party long enough, but my buddy here, Mr. Scott Free, which I got to meet in person last night, he is. So I nominated him for co-chair because he does amazing work, and he's an all-around good guy. So, which is the main qualification to be green, I think. Good person would be ideal. Following our 4 pillars and our 10 key values. We're anti-war, we're for peace. We believe in the rule of law and democratic process. What else we got, Scott?
Yeah, I think, it is the Green Party is trying to kind of thrive in a very, very extreme environment in our country right now. And so we're trying to kind of have a place where there's some reasonableness and yeah, we're trying to create solidarity around with the real basic principles around war, around the environment, and of course now we've made Palestine one of our major issues just because it was really difficult to be around to witness a genocide. It's extremely shocking to see it on your phone, as we all are, and so yeah, so we're here trying to do the good work, and so yeah, we're right in the middle of our convention, so I may sneak away for a little to find out what's going on.
Okay, I'll do my best. So I would like to, talk about how Scott was talking about Palestine. And I have a button that I got from my local ceasefire people. Says, if you ever wonder what you would have done during slavery or Nazi Germany, you are doing it today. Free Palestine, right? Um, so Scott may be getting voted on soon. So we're not sure. Hopefully they tap us on the shoulder. And when a bunch of Greens get in the room, we love to discuss things because we don't cut off debate. The Democratic Party, they didn't even have a primary. They made sure that Bernie Sanders wasn't nominated in 2016, even though people wanted him. So that is not what Greens do. Not only do we not take corporate donations and super PAC 501 money, we believe in people airing their grievances and hopefully coming to a resolution. So I don't know. That's all I got for now. We don't really. We were hoping this was going to be our lunch break, but we love to talk, and we take our party very seriously. So no lunch yet. I guess we're going to be hungry.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think that right. This is kind of the business side of things that are happening here at the convention. They're also going to be having workshops later on petitioning, because petitioning is unfortunately has to be a super priority for an independent party in the U.S. because the rules make it very, very difficult to get on the ballot for independent parties, and so we end up with huge signature requirements. And you can hear we're in a library, so you can hear probably a kid crying over there. Not part of the Green Party. We got the doors open, so
I thought libraries were supposed to be quiet.
yeah, right. Yeah, we're not so quiet in here, but closed off room, except we forgot to close the door. So yeah, we're going through this process, but yeah, we're going to have some training in the afternoon for petitioning and phone banking and things like that. All the kind of necessary things for a political party to get their word out. We would wish it could just be social media, but the reality is we have to meet people where they are, and a lot of times one-on-one is the best way to reach out to a person. So there's plenty of that. The old-fashioned stuff is still going on, but yeah, we were hoping to have a couple of guests to interview. We'll see. I may have to go. Yeah, so. I mean, we'll see. I may run over there and try to get some folks over here, but
I'll try to hold down the fort.
Yeah,
I'll attempt. I'm used to having my buddy here to fill in for me. So one thing I'll tell you all about. So last night, here's my camera. Last night we were invited to dinner at Anna, the co-chair's house. Some people that were close by, and me and my chair of the Shawnee Greens drove up all the way from Carbondale to have dinner and talk about our green experiences. So I thought I would share mine. Let's go, Scott. Hi, Benjamin. Thanks for being here. So I don't know if you watched the live stream previously, but my green experience was I read about Ralph Nader in Rolling Stone. And I was like, wow, I already knew of him because he helped us get safety in our cars with seatbelt laws. And he was a very effective person to push legislation until the lobbies got rid of him. But he ran in 2000 and against George W. Bush and Al Gore. I'm watching C-SPAN, waiting for Ralph Nader to come on and speak. They were showing the podium. He was getting ready to come on stage, and then C-SPAN switched over to George W. Bush's workout room. Not Bush's speech, not him even being in the room. They were promoting him and saying how fit he is. This is what he does. It was complete publicity. Yeah. So that made me angry. I'm like, I wanted to hear Ralph Nader on C-SPAN. So I said, now I'm definitely voting for him. And then I got, I don't know, gaslit by the Democratic Party for years, but I finally made it my way back to the Green Party. I mean, I've been an activist for 10. I tried to help Bernie get elected. He chose his career over his revolution. But he is saying one thing that I kind of agree with. He says we should have a party outside of the Democratic Party. And Scott and I completely agree.
What a coincidence.
Wow, we have one right here.
Where did it go?
And you know what we need to make it run? First of all, we need candidates. So Scott is going to be helping run the party as co-chair, hopefully, if he gets elected. And we do a lot of organizing. We're co-organizers for the Illinois Green Party. But I have been approved to run for lieutenant governor. This is how you do it. Breaking news. So we are still looking for more candidates. We need someone for Senate, for governor, for Secretary of State, for treasurer, for comptroller. We do have somebody that is thinking about treasurer, but we have to do our due diligence and our democratic process to make sure that everybody has had any questions or concerns heard. So yeah, third party right here. And you know what else we need to run this? If you look up in the corner, there's a QR code for a donation. If you would like to donate to the Green Party, we raised quite a bit of money last night in our green experiences live that we had. It was open to the public. So I don't think it wasn't recorded, but you could have joined us last night on Zoom, and we had a good time. It's just all the greens in the room that I've been seeing on Zoom for like 6 or 7 or more months. Like it was really wonderful to meet these people and get to give them a little hug, And we raised quite a bit of money. So can we keep that trend going? Can anybody donate $100 to the Illinois Green Party? The QR is right up there in the corner, the little black and white thing. Just scan that, and then if you donate, can you put it in the chat? Because I don't have the ability to check at the moment. I can put the link in. Yeah, if you want to take her over, I'll find the link.
Yes, and we have comments, but I don't remember how to put them up. But hey, Benjamin. Yes, is there a way to donate beyond the QR code? Yes, you can just go to the website, ilgp.org/donate.
I'm going to put the link in the
And it looks like they're about to have a lunch break, so we may be able to get somebody over here and interview. We'll see what happens. But yeah, and yeah, as sure, Benjamin. And so yeah, we're winging it here in terms of our content. Like I said, we thought we would get in right in the lunch break. It's may still happen, and we have a few folks that we'd love to have come over and talk to see what's happening. But yeah, we do. I think we were going to have a candidate for treasurer, and we're going to be running. I think we're going to have maybe 8 candidates statewide. So yeah, we'll have a full slate of folks. We'll be doing our petitioning in spring of 2026 to get them on the ballot. It's a huge, task. Yes, and so yeah, that's the plan. And of course, we're always looking for folks to come and get involved. And there are lots of ways you could do that. One of the main things you could do is just show up to our Zoom. We do a Zoom every Thursday night. You can find that link at ilgp.org/events. And it's the hangout room. It's also called Meet the Greens. And so you just kind of hang out and we just talk about if there's specific things that are going on. Otherwise, just strategies, and we take ideas, and we're always just trying to get people involved in the ways that they most want to be involved. That's kind of the key to getting involved with the Green Parties. You want to do something that you want to do. So if you're not the person that is too thrilled about door knocking, I hate that. There are plenty of other things to do, and we got graphics, we got event planning, fundraising, specifically event planning. But we've started showing a lot of films through the Green Party. Edie's been doing a lot of things down at her chapter, the Shawnee Green Party, which is in Carbondale. And actually, one of the things that we're trying to have happen quite a bit is to start new chapters, because there's, as the modern world is, there's 2 sides. There's the Zoom, the virtual side, and then hanging out with folks in person. So that's another reason why we're doing the convention, is just to hang out with people in person. And so that is something that can also happen if you have a local chapter. So even if you don't, reach out to us and we can get one started, because there's always some other people in your area, usually some other people who would like to do that too. And it's just a great way. It's having, a physical meeting and meeting people in person is just kind of a great aspect of organizing and working within the Green Party. So
I would like to point out Mr. Scott Free's Illinois Green Party shirt. So one of our volunteers, I don't know if he can come up yet, but the guy that created this design, and Scott and I worked on getting it to the printer and getting the money approved to have them. You can order them right now on our website. I kind of like the black shirt because I'm like a black shirt kind of girl.
Yeah.
Like black t-shirts is like half my wardrobe. So the green, they also have the traditional green one. You would just have to email us. I think we're going to get that put back up, but we didn't have all the sizes right now. We're kind of investing in this one and maybe doing a couple more designs coming up. So thank you, Mr. Leo, for creating a new shirt and our little team making sure it actually happened, and now we're wearing it. So I think he doesn't have time right now.
No.
So
He's running back and forth. We've had some tech issues today also this morning, so dealing with those. But yeah, and do you know the link, the slash for the t-shirt? Is it slash store? I think that's what it is. So ilgp.org/store is where we can get the t-shirt.
we have our producer here. So we have our producer here, so he's helping us out with all the links.
Oh, our producer's back.
Can you put it in the chat?
Thank you.
Ariel, can you put it in the chat or the comments? So I'm not sure how long we can stay on. We may be needed, but we'll try to stay here until 1.
And it's funny because now if you could hear the background, they're talking about ranked choice voting. So technically, we do ranked choice voting at the Green Party. I don't know if they were equipped for it today because I don't think they were prepared for as many candidates as they got. So we'll see.
Which is
but
a good problem to have.
Yeah,
It's a good problem to have. We welcome participation.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm half listening in and half commenting, but yeah, I think we're in the middle of this process of getting candidates together, and we've been focusing on the statewide candidates, but there will be a point here which we'll be looking for more if you're running within a district or a city council, that those kind of things we're also always looking for.
Like
State legislatures, yes, that will be happening too. And if you're interested in or thinking about possibly running, reach out to us because we would both give advice on a particular office and then a strategy. And I know it's difficult for people to do because a lot of times, it's pretty intimidating. The concept, but really that's kind of the strength of the Green Party, is that we want to get the ideas out there, and a wonderful way to get ideas is to have a candidate putting those ideas out. And so that's kind of the way the structure of the Green Party works, is we want the world or the US to know that there's an alternative here, and then the reasons why they would want to be involved or vote for us, at the time that it's there to vote.
I think Scott is being paged right now, so we may pause for a second to see what's going on. So there's 3 candidates now for co-chair, and there's 2 positions, which is a good problem to have because the past year we've only had 1 co-chair and 1 empty position, and someone stepped up to kind of be like fill in the space to help out temporarily. But I think we're deciding on how we're going to vote right now. We have 3 people. But so we'll let them keep doing that. If they need me, I guess they'll let me know. Just sent you. Thank you, Benjamin. Yes. So helping out. Yeah. Sorry. I'm looking in both ones, so because I'm watching the chat. But yes, please donate. We're going to be needing to print materials, do tabling to support candidates. And as soon as we get our all 7 positions, plus anybody that wants to run for anything else, like we have someone that is in Lake County that is looking to be U.S. House as soon as they get that approved through their chapter, which they just formed a brand new chapter. How great is that? So, because somebody wanted to run, now Illinois Green Party has a Lake County chapter. So, one thing kind of helps the other thing. So, um, well, thank you, Benjamin. And I don't have access to that at the moment. Too much going on, but thank you, thank you. Um, I'll put up Kalia's. Can you put up Kalia's comment? The Green Party is the best option for Americans because it puts people and planet over corporate profits. Fighting for universal health care, Medicare for all, no one bankrupted by illness. That is a major difference. Absolutely. If anybody knows that me at all, they know that I helped start the March for Medicare for All, and I was very proud to be a part of that. It was just too. I mean, it just takes a couple people having an idea, and we met on Zoom, and then we decided, hey, let's do a protest because Bernie Sanders isn't going to get us Medicare for All. This was January of 2021 when he got pushed out again by the Democratic Party. Just saying. I don't know if you all remember that, but I really, really do. Originally, Bernie won Iowa, but the Shadow app was used to delay the results long enough for Pete Buttigieg to win New Hampshire, because that would have started like kind of a momentum. And then at the end, I think it was South Carolina. A lot of the Democratic leaders got together, Obama in particular, convinced everyone to drop out except for Elizabeth Warren, which meant that was there to delay Bernie. So, yeah. And I forgot. Bernie conceded he did not get pushed out. He sold out. No, that I agree with. So, I mean, he could have fought, but he didn't. He didn't fight. So, we're still trying to figure out what's going on here. But let's see. Climate justice, a Green New Deal to create jobs while saving the planet. Economy equality, tax the rich, living wages, and an end to Wall Street greed. Well said, Kalia. And Kalia has been on our live stream before, so you guys can go to the channel and go check out our interview with her. She does a thing that'll be tomorrow night at I think 5:00 our time, probably 6:00 Eastern. On TikTok, it's called Green Party Tea. So it's really fun. We came into the live probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was really fun just having a conversation with her and the people that follow her. Lots of good conversations. I mean, Green Party cares about people, and we want the process to be uncorrupted. We want our government to respond to the needs of the people. That is what they were invented for, you know. So, not used to carrying this by myself. I'm used to a guest. So, thank you, Kalia, for helping out. Yeah, what is something that you would like to see change? I know Trump is throwing everything in the kitchen sink out the window. He's trying to destroy all of our services and our institutions, our Social Security, our post office. But the Democrats aren't really stopping them. Is Doge legal? I don't know. But the Democratic Party hasn't stood in their way, and they have abdicated their responsibility. So Scott's back. Maybe he has some news.
I don't, other than pizza was ordered. But yeah, they're still doing the process by which they're going to vote. So
So we may need to pause when the vote actually happens,
yeah, we'll see.
because I want to be counted.
Yeah, right. Yes, I want to vote for myself.
I want to vote for Scott
Yeah, there you go.
and Jay. By the way.
Yes,
Spoiler alert: I'm
Yeah.
voting for Scott and Jay.
right. Exactly.
Because I've worked very closely with this nice gentleman here,
Mm,
and I have had many conversations with Jay Godwin. He's a wonderful
Yes.
guy.
yes.
Very busy. He's taking time off work right now to help us out.
Yeah.
And to show up. I don't know anything about Chris, really.
Yeah.
So it's more of a He's not been participating in the state. I don't know what he's about. So I can't vote for somebody I know nothing about. That's what it comes
Yeah,
down to.
yeah. Let's see. Do we have comments?
Chas Burns. No.
Kali is in there.
Um, I see we have our guy that's a Trumper in here. Um, I would disagree. I don't like what Trump is doing because it sounds good on the surface, but until you know the details, you don't understand what's happening. So they have been trying to destroy our postal service since George W. Bush. They demanded that they fund them 75 years into the future for their pensions, which was people that hadn't even been born yet. I mean, if you're 75 years old, I'm pretty sure you're not delivering your mail, you know? And most people that are doing it are probably, I don't know, probably a little bit younger, but I do have someone that I know that's a little bit older that's doing it. And now they're trying to do it for real, just trying to, it's a postal service. And a lot of people don't realize that it is self sufficient. They fund their operations through their sales, and it has government oversight, which is what I mean. They tried to destroy it under George W. Bush in the early 2000s. It didn't work because they just raised the price of a stamp about that much, and then they were still able to do business as usual. And I don't know if you've been to the UPS store versus like the post office. Post office is usually cheaper.
Yeah, yeah.
So
No, I think, and that's just part of a overall plan, and that's been both Democratic and Republican parties. I don't think that Trump changes that much from the overall plan, which is do what your donors want,
yeah.
and what the Republican and Democratic parties' donors want is to take over any operation that they could make a profit on. So that's why they want to privatize our postal service, because then they can just become a UPS, right, or a FedEx, and all the money would go to one person. And so that's the point. That's what they do. That's what they've been doing when they were privatizing education. Um, and unfortunately, this country has been sliding down in the wrong direction for decades, And yes, Colleen. Benjamin is a former South Carolinian. I completely agree that Jim Clyburn is a Republican in Democratic close. Yes, that is quite true. And, again, that kind of discernment is almost not necessary. It's like, yes, the
it's
Republicans,
one party.
it is one party. And they just have a different little, well, it's not just that it's one party, it's one party that has also figured out the way to keep the populace occupied is to make it look like they're in a battle. It's a classic. If you think of WWF and all that, like everybody knows that that's fake, right? But they come up with these stories, these dialogues, and these confrontations. And so it's a really good way to look at the Republican and Democratic Party is think about the WWF or whichever is your favorite wrestling group, because that's what it is. It's all theater. It's all theater. They're actually behind the scenes. They're all friends. They all know what they're doing. They all completely know. They completely know what they're doing, folks. Absolutely. So yeah, it's all theater. It's just who are the best actors. That's really the ones that rise. And there's no doubt Obama was probably the best actor that we have had, certainly in our lifetimes. I mean, the guy was a brilliant actor. He actually had, I mean, when folks talk to him, they see he really has no principles at all, but he was really good at his deception game. And when they get into the specifics of what Obama did, how he destroyed Libya, and he assassinated. I thought it was only one U.S. citizen. Some people have said three. I did not know that, but he like named them, and then a drone went and killed him. So and that's the Democratic leader there. So no, I mean that's the thing that the Green Party's up against, and we are trying to redirect this country. And obviously, we haven't had major success. We have people in smaller offices in the Green Party throughout the country, but we haven't any major wins. And so, right, we're in a long process here, but we have to be in this process because I think it was Cenk Uygur who had this announcement that he was going to do another Justice Democrats type thing. And I'm hoping that people aren't still, I mean, obviously some people will still fall for it, but Janke's a little part of the machine too, right? The machine to keep people in the Democratic Party who really have no business being there because, you know, they're not going to be helping us in any way. They're going to be doing the same things just with a prettier face. So it's still about privatization. It's still about handing over any resources that this country has to private capitalists. That's all that is happening in our country. And so it's a long battle, but I'm thrilled with the people that we've been meeting on this show. I mean, they've been incredible. Kalia, and thank you for joining us. And yeah, I mean, there are a number of wonderful folks out there who are trying to do the real work. And that's what this is about, doing the real work to get organized, to get the word out, to get candidates out there so that people have a legitimate option and they can leave, they can Republican exit, a Dem exit. They can do both because there's no reason to stay there anymore. We've had too much. And you see the worst of the worst happening, right? I mean, Trump is now bombing Yemen. And why is he bombing Yemen? Because Yemen is the only country that is actually militarily trying to stop this genocide. And they are blocking bomb shipments. And so, Trump, he's not bombing Yemen for the US, he's bombing for Israel. And did I miss something there?
Oh, Kalia just had a really saucy joke.
Go for it. I put it up there. I missed it.
Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. He had charisma. Hang on. Charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent. The first letters of each word describes them well.
There we go. Ooh, ow.
Yikes. Ow. Not wrong, but
Yeah.
And to come back to Chaz. Chaz likes to we could go back and forth about Trump.
Oh.
I agree that the Green Party is uncorrupted by the two-party system, but the Green has too many weird policies they push. Plus, I ain't a Trumper. I just voted for him. So if you join the Green Party, you have a say in what policies are there.
Yeah.
We are for people, planet, and peace. And Trump is for censorship and picking people up off the street for saying the words "Free Palestine" and organizing a protest, which is allowed in our Constitution. So he is doing things that are unconstitutional and shipping people off to be tortured. And somebody that wasn't even supposed to get shipped to El Salvador, that was here legally, and did nothing but speak up.
No one should have been shipped to El Salvador. Also, I mean, they do make. I mean, it's a valid argument, yes, that this one person was a mistake, but they're trying to make that. The problem with emphasizing that is it makes it sound like the rest is okay. None of it's okay. We should not be sending people to a different country. Prison in a different
for speaking their mind. That is supposed to. I mean, this is what they're doing.
Right.
They're saying since you disagree with the government, you are not allowed to disagree with your government. So they're basically telling you the government doesn't belong to you anymore. You're not allowed to have an opinion, and if you have too much of an opinion that it disagrees with what we're doing, you're going to be rounded up and hauled off to another country.
And another part of the propaganda is that they're saying, yeah, but they're gang members. That's not illegal. You can be. Well, and also, again, we emphasize that, they picked the wrong people. It's not illegal to be part of an organization. That's not a crime. If they have no due process, if they haven't been put before a court for any specific crime, we should not be sending them out of the country into some concentration camp, which is what it is. I mean, the photos, I thought the photos were AI. I couldn't believe it. I mean, it was sick. And that was our government doing this. I mean, again, we are so far on the wrong path. It is unreal. And, people want to argue about the immigration. We've always had immigration. The problem is it would be great to see what kind of immigration we would have, legal or illegal, if we weren't interfering in these other countries, if we weren't destroying their governments, if our CIA wasn't in there causing disruptions and color revolutions and apps and coups, right? And assassinating leaders of other countries and throwing them into chaos. It's a lot of the reason why people are coming here because we've been interfering in those countries. If we stopped all of that, now immediately it wouldn't change, but we would gradually and maybe pretty quickly, the situation would change. So, we are at fault for the origins of the immigration crisis that people talk about too.
I agree 100%. Um, our military industrial complex, we were warned by Eisenhower. When was that? In the 50s? So this has been going on for 75 years. They've done nothing but gain power. I don't think we were ever really supposed to have a standing army. But once you start a thing, once you create it, it just kind of grows. And I remember when George W. Bush created the Homeland Security Agency. I'm like, wow, that sounds like Germany. Like now I'm getting a little freaked out, But if you want immigration to be orderly, you invest in judges and due process, just like what we're having here. It's a little messy sometimes, but it is also necessary. And then if you want people to stop wanting to come, most people would rather stay in their home country if they had charge of it. If it was democratic, if it was due process. But our country, when they have resources that we seem to want, and a billionaire that owns a corporation that wants to go in there without rules, they use our CIA to go in there, and I'm sorry, NATO to go in there and disrupt and perform coups, just like what happened in 2014, the Maidan coup in Ukraine. That's why all these people died in Ukraine because we lied to Russia. We said we will not bring NATO 1 inch closer to you. And then we were trying to pressure Ukraine to join NATO. How would we feel if that was Canada and Mexico and NATO would be totally against us? I don't think we'd be down with it. So, especially if in Canada, let's say, or Mexico, they were attacking English speaking people that were Americans or dual citizenship. And that is what happened in Ukraine. But you want immigration to be orderly, we have to do those two things. And I'm pretty sure the Green Party, I mean, I haven't looked at the policy, but knowing what I know about the Green Party, we would make that process, and we would stop the war machine. So
Yeah, no, I think that's it exactly. It's just that the main difference is that if somebody is elected from the Green Party, they are not beholden to some CEO of some corporation. That is the big difference. Now, yes, much harder to get in when we don't have tons of money behind us. But this idea that money, and yeah, they have some kind of statistic 98% of the people, whoever spends more money gets elected. But it doesn't have to be that way. That's the key to it. It doesn't have to. You don't buy the votes, but it certainly buys you the exposure. So again, the key is to reach out to people. And, you know, I know that social media has really been shut down. I witnessed the whole Facebook transformation when in 2016, the conversations were between your Facebook friends. Now, if you're on Facebook, think about it. How many friends do you have and how many of those posts from those friends do you see? Almost zero. You would have had to been consistently liking somebody's post to continue to see them. And what Facebook did is they transferred all of the energy into groups. And the reason they did that in the groups, and they're throwing groups at you all the time, is because that becomes preaching to the converted. So no ideas get spread out because you're already giving it to the folks who already agree with you. So it was Facebook's way of really shutting down conversation. And that's what this is about. Now, that's what it is when they control the internet. They have methods by which you stop the conversation. So, I certainly agree that we still have to be pushing through social media, and you can break in different ways. Comments are a way to get in, but it's difficult. And one of the things I've been doing is just kind of reaching out to people who on Facebook who are not my friends at all. I don't know anything about them, but I like their posts, and then I'll friend them. And that's been I've been able to move Facebook into a more of a political conversation space for me, but it's a brutal process because it's not set up for it anymore. And so again, I'm kind of spouting my ideas while I'm half listening to the process behind us because I guess they didn't take the lunch break. So they're still working on things. So I'm going to go in and
No
check
soup
again.
for you. No.
I know. I'm going to go in and check one more time.
No, they said that they would come get us when it's time to vote.
Oh, okay.
So we're okay for a little bit. Democracy and people power is a little bit messy, and that's what makes it great because everybody can feel heard. There was a little bit of contention here. We voiced it. We decided to stick with the rules that have been established, and if those rules need to be changed, there's a process to change them. It's very easy to find. It's public knowledge. All you got to do is go to the website and see how that works, and everybody can join. And if there's something that maybe needs a little tweak here or there, you can join. You can join committees. You can be here. You can change how the process works if you want to, but you can't do it at the 11th hour. Brian Griggs me. As soon as my yard is mowed, I am putting out my Just sign again with this edition. Don't blame me. I voted for her. Oh my gosh. I think I'm going to talk to Leo.
Yeah, but I do
He's our graphic artist right now, and it's like, don't blame me. I voted for Jill. I love that. Oh,
awesome, Brian. I'm going to put up registered green sign back on.
awesome. Yeah.
Code on it. Yes, we need more of those.
I don't know if you could hear him, but put that back up. Could you hear him? Awesome, Brian. I'm going to put my registered green sign back out. It has a QR code on it. We need more of those. Can you send me that graphic? I will make that happen.
Yes. And, you're right. The lawn sign is perfect because, again, that's fighting the system because it's random people driving by, right? Or walking by. And, I mean, we just have to. And that's one of the things the Green Party needs to be a little better, much better about is being seen. So the t-shirts, hats, anything is really important to be out in public. To be out in public as green is super important. So yes.
I bought a green dress.
Oh well, no, but what it has to
doesn't count,
say, it has to say something. Green Party. Yeah, I mean it would, it would match, but yeah, not quite good enough.
I got a green heart.
Yeah,
but you can't see it.
Yeah, right.
Well, you can if you talk to me for 2 minutes.
Yeah, she'll definitely give you that little icon, but no, I mean that's an important part because it needs to be into the conversation. Is that we need to be out there, because a lot of times that can start conversations too, because a lot of people, again, it's most of it is that people are not aware. That's the main thing that I'm finding is that people aren't aware. And those are the folks that we have the ability to reach or the possibility to reach. I know that some, liberals are stuck in their ways and they'll never leave the Democratic Party and they hate us for challenging it. But there's a lot of people out there who are much more open-minded.
But I don't know if you saw the Bernie Sanders thing where someone put up a Palestinian flag, and then of course it was security comes. They're making them leave. They're trying to snatch the flag from them, all that. Bernie Sanders' audience started booing the security. Bernie was not able to calm them down. And once they were escorted out of the venue, they started chanting Free Palestine. And that is the difference between the Green Party, the Democratic Party, and the Republican Party. Both Democratic Party and Republican Party are AIPAC funded. They are Israel first, America second. I don't care what they say. You got to look at the money if you want to know what's happening. Green Party is people first. And whatever kind of policies or processes that we want in our government, the people should decide. We want Medicare for all. We want to end the wars. We want to stop funding Israel, and we want the genocide to stop. I mean, just, free tuition. That used to be a thing. Educate our young people. Now it's outrageously expensive, and then you're in debt until, like, my best friend is 74 years old. She still has a student loan. Like, that's insane because they make it to where the interest keeps accruing even if you're paying. Like, so it doesn't really go down a lot of times depending on your loan. Sometimes it keeps going up even if you're paying. So, I mean, so many policies, and I know Chaz says we have weird policies, but we're just for people um, getting to be themselves. I mean, it's none of your business really what your neighbor's doing, as long as they're not hurting you and they're not breaking the law. You know, why not just let people be who they are?
And I think it also comes down to quality of life. So, what is a student loan? A student loan is privatizing education, right? That's what that is. And now, people want to say, yeah, but they signed up for it. They got to pay it back. We had free education decades ago, and that was slowly changed. And each year it gets worse, and now they're changing the government loans where they're taking directly out of people's bank accounts. And I mean, I think it was Biden a long time ago ended the possibility of declaring bankruptcy and getting rid of your student loan. You can declare bankruptcy and get rid of a lot of other things, as some millionaires do when their company crashes, right? But they don't allow it for student loans. Again, it's picking on the individual in America to decrease their quality of life. Why? Because they want to suck as much money out of us as they can, and that goes again to the CEOs of the banks, to the shareholders. So that's what this whole process is about. And now at least it's good that things are more open in terms of we're learning more and more about China and all of the advances that they have made. And why have they been so incredibly successful? Because they didn't make their economy bombs. That's what our economy is. Our manufacturing is basically bomb making. And so what do you get out of that? It just gets destroyed lands. And again, they find places that they can go destroy. Of course, they're focusing on the Middle East, but it's just, I mean, along with the whole Zionist concept, it's also in their best interest to go bomb a place. And so then what happens? They bomb it, and then in comes BlackRock to rebuild it, and then they go bomb it, in comes BlackRock to rebuild it. Again, this is all private. This is all a scheme, a private industry scheme.
Reagan didn't want an educated. Reagan didn't want an educated proletariat.
I mean, none of them do, right? None of them do, actually.
You want me to read it?
Sure.
The Israel-Palestine issue is mute. Moot, you mean? MOOT? Anyway, it has been muted because people think it's over, but it's not. Most Trump supports feel like Americans should not be supporting Israel either. Okay, yeah. Same with most Democrats. Yet nothing changes. I agree with you, Chaz. That is true.
Absolutely true. Yeah. No. I mean, there is, again, we keep saying there's no interest. There's no difference really between Republicans and Democrats, and especially on the on the issue of Gaza, Palestine, and really all of the Middle East. I mean, we are doing all of those wars, all of them, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Libya. That is all for Israel's interests. Their goal is to take over the entire area and get rid of all Middle Easterners in the process. And unfortunately, they have been really successful in Syria. I mean, our CIA helped fund ISIS and Al Qaeda, and now they run that government. And if you notice, they got no issue with Israel coming in and bombing. Not a coincidence.
And look at Libya.
Not a coincidence.
Libya is now open slave trade because we ruined their country.
Because we destroyed it.
And we're after Iran now.
That's the big one. That's been the big goal of Israel for decades. And right now they're putting Trump into they're really pushing him to do this. We'll see. Trump claims he's anti-war, but he's certainly not anti-war enough to not bomb Yemen. He's certainly started that up again. So
or stop Israel
or Israel, right? And Gaza. I mean, the genocide has returned. So yeah, both parties are bought and paid for by the same big money donors to represent their donors' interests at our expense. And boy, are we paying for it. Thank you very much. Both parties are traitors. I mean, no, that is, and once people, that's the thing, we have to get people to understand that. It is the red pill, blue pill thing. We have to get people to realize that they've been propagandized their entire life. All of us were propagandized our entire lives. And so you do have to come to that realization of what our government really is. These politicians are actors. That's all they are, is actors, and they know their talking points. We just had Jose Vega on Wednesday, and we were talking about how the three of us know foreign policy better than these politicians.
Hakeem Jeffries.
Right, Hakeem Jeffries. He doesn't know a thing. All he knows is his talking points, and that's what he spouts. I would highly recommend checking out our interview with Jose Vega from last Wednesday, because we get really into that, and really just go search on YouTube on Jose Vega for all of his. He calls them interventions.
No, we haven't voted yet.
Okay, we'll go.
Scott's gonna go vote. I'm gonna hang out with you guys. Then when you're done, come get me. So, yeah, I agree with that 100%. I mean, we've had some amazing guests. We had Butch Ware on, and he is running to be the governor of California for the same reason. I mean, it's been Democrat ran for a really long time, and he talked about, I was involved. I lived in San Diego when we did the March for Medicare for All. My friend was handling the LA March, so I came up for that because the San Diego peeps had it down. I think it was the local PSL that, like, it's cool, we got it, we're gonna do the march, so I didn't even have to help San Diego. And the San Diego PSL was really wonderful to me and to any organization I was with. So I went up to LA and helped out with that one. It was amazing. We had Jimmy Dore speak. We had Tara Reid speak. It was a really cool day, very, very, very long. However, that was, I believe, the second try to get universal health care in California. They could afford to do it. They are the 6th largest economy in the world. And, they just, when Democrats are in charge, it was a Democrat, right? I believe it was Gavin Newsom. They always seem to fall like a couple of votes short. But what I didn't know that Butch Ware knew was the Democrats passed it when Arnold Schwarzenegger was governor because they knew that he would veto it. So it's kind of like, yeah, one hand washes the other. Democrats and Republicans work together. So I'm going to hand this to Scott, and I'm going to go vote.
Yeah. And we have Chibu Sonia here from the Green Party, and we're just winging it here. I guess they're in the middle of voting, so I just went and voted. So, and you voted also?
Yeah. I voted. I let my voice be heard,
Yes.
as I always do each election.
There you go. That's what we do here at the Green Party. But no, I guess it's been a little bit of a sloppy process, and we've actually kind of missed what was going on there. But it looks like they at least got their act together in terms of setting up a way to vote. So that was good.
Yeah. The truth is, like, in the Green Party, we want everyone to be able to participate. And so sometimes part of the participation is people in the previous cycle saying, we want you all to have the option to be different. So we're going to let you all decide that in the moment. It's fun. It's different. Definitely something to take a second to get used to. But having patience is always very helpful.
There you go. I'm not sure I have a whole lot of that, but no. But I was over here. I was distracted anyway. So yeah. But we were going to do our live stream no matter what process we were in. So obviously we caught it in the middle. But yeah, so it's exciting time for the Green Party. I mean, I think we're definitely building and growing, especially in the Illinois Green Party. And one of the cool things about having Green Live Stream is that we just get a chance to see what else is going on in other places in the Green Party.
Yep.
And I know you work with National, right? You work with.
I do.
Okay.
I'm actually one of the co-chairs of the campaign coordinating committee.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So as I started off as the Illinois State liaison to the CCC, and now I got to be a co-chair. We got voted in January. It's me, Andy Ellis, and Nancy. Yeah. So really three big powerhouses who have a vision. And so that's what I've been that's what I do right now.
Yeah. And you guys have like some big event on the 30th, right? Isn't there something on Wednesday where they're starting at least?
Yep.
And
yeah. So Wednesday, look up on the social medias between us and the Green Congressional Committee. It's the ending, I guess, the starting of spring, and so we have workshops, social media posts that kind of explain and talk through different parts of being a candidate, not only on a federal level, which was my experience, but also from a state and local and even smaller, like municipality level. April 30th, there's an announcement, and then in May you'll see a series of workshops.
Okay. Yeah, cool. And we did put that on our own Illinois website. So ilgp.org/events. And yeah, we've got it listed on the 30th. So check it out because there'll be a link to a Zoom there. So
yeah, I'm excited. I am really happy continuing being in a green after this election, seeing some of the things that are happening on not even just national level, but particularly on a national level, seeing other people who agree and who have the same kind of like idea and drive. One thing I really appreciate is just that, like, being a third party is saying that you want to see something different, and then you're doing actionable things to then be different. And that's what we're doing right now. I'm excited for the chairs. I'm like, having a vision for the future of Illinois is right up my alley. Yes. I want to help with that.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, we're putting our slate together here.
Heck yes.
But yeah, no, and like I said, with our live stream, we're trying to feature other state parties and what they're doing and other candidates. So we've had Andy Ellis, who is running for governor in Maryland.
Yeah,
and we had Butch Ware, who is running for governor of California.
Heck yes.
Yes. And so we don't have our governor candidate yet, but we're working on it. So yeah, we will certainly make that announcement when that happens. But yeah, I think it's just really, and again, it's all a process of getting the word out.
Yeah.
And so no, that's great that you're working on the campaign committee, because that's, to me, that again, that's the essential one. That's and it's good that it's organized on the national level.
Yeah.
Because we do need, I think one of the important things is yes, somebody might be running in your state green, but folks everywhere need to know that it's happening, because we do get accused of that every 4 years, and I've been around long enough to know that accusation comes out. Now again, it's just propaganda, but they accuse the Green Party of only showing up every 4 years.
Yep.
That's just the big one. But again, it's a lie. And it's a very easy lie to disprove. All you have to do is one Google search, right? You just look up Green Party and you see all of the different states, all of the activities within those states. Okay, so maybe it's a couple of Google searches, but not much to figure out just the amount of activity that goes on. So, and again, I think there's going to be more activity now. I mean, it's just things are exploding in the Green Party, as they should, because, we've reached that desperate point. And certainly the genocide has done that like no other thing. There is no doubt. And when you see the machinations, the way the Democratic Party started the funding, claimed that they couldn't do anything to stop it. Nothing. They couldn't. They were powerless. And then Trump comes in the day before he goes into office and stops the genocide, immediately stops the genocide. Then starts it up again in about 2 weeks. So it is within our power. We, in a way, we are running that genocide. I mean, we like to say Israel, Israel, Israel. The reality is, not only do we provide the funding for the bombs, we provide the bombs, we provide the logistics, we provide the intelligence. So we are there every step of the way. So, I mean, it's not inaccurate to say that the U.S. is conducting a genocide. I mean, that just is the reality. And that's Democratic or Republican. And we have another comment. I can't read who that is.
Have you asked Richard Whitney to run for governor? Both from both parties are traitors.
Yes, both parties are traitors. Rich Whitney is not in the Illinois Green Party anymore, and I think that was a personal decision that he made. But it is true that he, I don't remember the percentage he got when he ran for governor, but it put us back as an established party for 4 years. And unfortunately, you have to get that goal every single time. So we fell off the following time. But yeah, Rich Whitney, yeah, I mean, I know him and talked to him, but yeah, he's made a personal decision not to be involved in the Green Party himself. So what is the point of electing Democrats only to watch Dems enact fascist Republican policies anyway? Isn't that the definition of a wasted vote? Thank you for that. Absolutely. No, and you know, I have made Facebook friends with some folks who are real experts on that. So I've been trying to gather all that information, because one of the ways that propaganda works is that these fascist policies get enacted by Democrats, but that gets really hidden. You might find an article somewhere, but it certainly isn't publicized, because Fox News isn't going to cover it, even though it's a Democratic Party, right, who's doing it, because they're not, you know, they're pro-fascist anyway. So they're not going to cover that. Now, on the other side of things, when a Republican does it, the fascist stuff, they're going to point it out more on the MSNBC, CNN side. But the reality is it happens on both sides. And what that does is that gets into people's minds who are falling for the propaganda that the Democrats are the good guys and the Republicans are the bad guys. But that isn't the case. Both of them enact fascist policies. It was Obama that got rid of habeas corpus. It was Obama who assassinated a U.S. citizen by drone, naming that person and then having the drone sent and assassinate them. So there are plenty of fascist things that go on. Keeping Guantanamo Bay open, that was Obama, right? So both sides do it, but it gets reported in a different way, so that, again, we are setting up this good guy, bad guy scenario, which is not true.
I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Chibu. And yes, we love whenever you come on Green Live Stream.
I'm really happy to be here and to see you all, and to continue to see that, like, there's nothing going back, and you can only move forward,
Right.
which is kind of like, you know, consistent.
There you go. Absolutely. No, thank you so much.
BRB.
Thank you. So yeah, and Edie is away voting in the democratic process that we do, and then when she comes back, we'll kind of end it, because you kind of got the sense that it's a little chaotic over here. But we appreciate everyone that's come in to join us here for Green Live Stream on Saturdays. And like I said, this week we just skipped the news of the week because it fell on the convention, and it looks like folks are taking a break over there. And we're in the process of voting, and we were voting for co-chairs, of which I was running for a co-chair spot. So maybe we'll announce that. No, I don't know. It may take longer. But yeah, and the thing is about being a co-chair, I wanted to just kind of just be, I mean, I don't know that I can be more involved, but maybe it's kind of the co-chair is like running the meetings and stuff. It's not, there's no more extra power in it or anything. It's not a power play at all. Because, you know, the Green Party tries to really minimize that kind of a situation. I think even the California Green Party doesn't have co-chairs. And the fact that they have co-chairs is another point to which they're trying to, you know, not have it be such a power play. They're trying not to match, you know, the other parties where, you know, Nancy Pelosi ran the Democrats, right? And I mean, we've seen that in any kind of, you know, power situation. We've seen that with the Democrats in Illinois for decades, right? And so, yeah, we're trying to move that away, that from that concept. And that also gets tied into the way that we don't take super PAC money. We really try, we don't want to be a party that's just controlled by the particular donors. And it is interesting to watch the Trump presidency the second time around, where it's become so blatant that he, you know, which billionaires he has put in charge of our government. It's funny because in the past they would do it in very subtle ways, like the Democrats, you know, a public-private partnership, right? Ooh, that sounds all nice. But now we're just blatantly seeing it in this administration. So we had Chibu over for a little while talking about,
I
yeah.
got to go work the room.
Okay. Oh, there you go. Good, good.
I was talking to Griselda. Griselda's here.
Yes.
Yeah, she's very nice.
Yes. And there's a lot of new people who have, you know, there's a few people who have never been to a Green Party event yet. who showed up. Just they heard about it and they wanted to come check it out. So that's great.
They must have got my emails.
Oh, okay. Maybe so.
There's a lot of passion and energy in this room, and I think it's wonderful. I love that people care so much.
Right. No, it is
Mhm.
important. So, yeah, but and we've been reading some of the comments, and they've been great. And
No, keep talking. Go
yeah,
ahead.
no, I thought you were just bringing up one, but
Oh no, I was checking with our producer to see if he had anything to say.
okay. I mean, yeah, this was our most improvised show, that's for sure. 5 minutes before, we're like, okay, what are we talking about? Because yeah,
Like, I
it's
don't
been
know.
chaos in the
Where
room.
do we
But
start?
yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I was trying to see if anybody wanted to come chat, but we're all eating pizza apparently.
okay.
So people are hungry. A democracy makes you hungry.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So,
But yeah, no, I
are we
think
at an hour?
yeah,
Oh, we're at an hour.
Yeah.
So we can go and
Yeah, I think we'll close it
yeah.
out here, but we want to just thank everybody for coming. And again, this was kind of, it wasn't our usual format. So, what's happening? Yay. How you doing?
Not.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what you mean, Mr. Brian.
Ah, but yeah, we are, as the banner says, we are Green Live Stream. So we run twice a week. Wednesday evening, 7 p.m. Central Time. We always have a guest. And then our usual format for Saturdays at noon Central Time is News of the Week. But yeah, this week it was just the
We are the news of
convention.
the week
We
for us.
became the news. There you go. And I might be the news because we see it. They're having a contest over there, and I'm in the running, so we'll see what happens. But
Go, Scott, go.
no.
Go, Scott, go. He's the one that has done the most work.
Oh, hey, there's Anna, who's the
That was our
co-chair.
chair.
Yay,
Anna, you wanna say hi real
Anna.
quick to
Do
our
you want to
audience?
stop in and say hi?
One
Uh-oh,
second.
she's
mentioned a little bit.
but yeah. And thank you for running this meeting, which has been kind of wild, but yeah, no, it's great.
Your patience is appreciated.
Yes.
Yeah, so hello everybody out there. I'm Anna Schiefelbein. I'm co-chair just for a little bit longer. I'm really excited to grow with the Green Party. I've been a Green Party member for a little bit over 6 years. I love every minute of it. Today, I don't know if Scott and Edie talked about it. We had a long democratic discussion and process, but at the end of the day, it's the process. Everybody had their chance to fully participate. Everybody had a chance to have an opportunity at the floor. We had everybody online and in person. We had this big, figuratively table. Everybody had a seat at the table, and everybody was able to have their voices heard. This is something that the Greens really value. This is what makes us different. And really, I just enjoy everybody's patience. And I really enjoy being part of this team. It's the only team I like to be a part of.
Tell them about how much fundraising we did last night, and I talked about it here. And
Well, we're at the library. So let's talk about fundraising, another issue.
See, Anna's the best. We're gonna miss her as co-chair because she knows all the rules.
But I ain't going anywhere. I'll tell you that.
Okay, good.
This is the best. The Green Party to me is the only viable environmental, non-corporate political party in the United States of America.
anti-war.
Yes.
Yeah. You want power of the people? This is the
There you
place.
go.
You want healthcare for all? This is the place. Public option is not an option. Please don't support any other candidates except your healthcare for all candidates.
Yeah.
Your peace candidates,
Yeah.
not only wanting peace, but will vote for peace.
There you go.
That's a big difference. There's lots of people who want peace,
Right.
but still don't vote for peace.
Right.
And that's where we need to be electorally. We need to be having those votes for peace. And we stand on the majority of people want peace. The ceasefire now. A majority of people want healthcare for all. So all we have to do is be united, hold the majority line, and we'll never be at risk because we will be united on the majority that already exists.
And help people get into office that will represent your interests, not their donors' owners.
And you may be seeing more of Anna in the future when it comes to candidates running for office. So well, yeah, we'll just keep that right there. But thank you so much, Anna, for coming over.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
being part of this team.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Well, I
Well,
guess
that
we're
was
done
good.
for the day.
Yes, and thanks
So-
everyone for stopping in
And
and
thank you, Clea. I've seen some people on here. Brian Grigsby, I think I saw you on Hard Lens. I said hi,
Oh,
but
okay.
I don't think you saw.
Okay.
And Jay's in here. What's up, Jay?
Oh, wow.
Good luck to you too. Mr.
Yes.
Sir Jay is running for co-chair of the
Yes.
Illinois Green Party as well. Let's see how he does.
All right, everyone. And yeah, please stop in every Thursday. We do just a hangout Zoom, Meet the Greens, and that's on ilgp.org/events. So you can just come and hang out and meet us on Zoom. And you usually don't have much of a format. We might have a little agenda, but yeah, it's just a hangout place. And then we'll see you on Wednesdays. So yeah, 7 p.m. So thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Bye.
See you next time.
All right.
Tune in Wednesday, 7 p.m. Bye.
Bye now.
Uprising, we're rising up. It's an uprising, we're rising up. It's an uprising. Fight the power. It's an uprising. Fight the power.